Hello, and welcome to Mean Reviews, No Stars Given. Tonight is our special Christmas episode, as well as our season one finale. My guest co-host this week is Grant Ayers. Welcome, Grant.
Hail.
Thank you for joining us. Now, before we get into the first review, just a quick note about comments. We welcome every single one, but we'll only be looking at them right after we review each book. So remember, a little context would be extremely helpful at that point. Thank you. Also, please hit the like button now before I say anything that offends you. Thank you. All right. So we will uh, jump right into our first review if I can bring the cover up. Whew. Oh no, I got rid of it. Well, that's awful. I blame me, but apparently I deleted the cover. Oh, I can't believe it. All right, let me grab it. I'm going to just grab it. I have it sitting right there. All right. We'll pretend this never happened and never speak of it. But here
Never
we go.
happened.
Our first book to review is Demon Scroll, Demon Hunter Book 1 by Tim Niederritter, which is a great way, or a great name for a writer, by the way. Excellent job to Tim for being born with that name. Um, Here's my spoiler free synopsis. The first book of an epic dark fantasy series where wizards read scrolls that contain trapped demons to access their power. The heroine is a warrior returning from Mexico who may need to do just that in order to stop an invasion. That's all basically from the book's blurb on Amazon because I am getting lazy since this is the last show of the year and I'm pretty hungry because I don't get dinner till the show is over. Um, anyway, let's get right to the things that we like. I like Christmas,
Christmas.
which is really lucky for me since it is currently the Christmas season. Um, I love the decorations. I love the food, the smells, and of course, I'm quite fond of receiving gifts. Um, that's probably my favorite part, really. I've received many wonderful gifts over the years, and just a friendly reminder that there is still time for all of you watching at home to get me something amazing before Christmas. Although I'm happy to get gifts at any time. Uh, you don't have to wait for my birthday or some holiday. You can give me gifts every day if you want. Just saying. But since I like Christmas, I think as an author, you need to, or, it is smart to consider when your audience will be reading or, in particular, reviewing your book. This is our Christmas show. So it would have been smart to make Christmas a big part of the story. Unfortunately, Tim did not do that. Not only is Christmas not an integral part of the book, it isn't even mentioned once. I mean, who has ever heard of a fantasy world without Christmas? I mean, lots of authors, sure. But I'm here to tell you that they all made a huge mistake. And that means Demon Scroll gets 0 out of 1 Santa Clauses from me. But what about you, Grant? What do you like?
Oh, I love seafood.
Oh, nice.
I love lobster, fish,
Mm,
crab, whatever. And you know what? As an author myself, I feel like food is a very important thing in a story. It can
definitely.
bring great symbology and great meaning. Now, the book Demon Scroll doesn't have that much food in it, unless you include humans. But
Which I don't think we should do for legal
no,
reasons.
definitely not. We're not Jeffrey Dahmer here. But I would have to say because of that, it gets it gets like 1 out of 5 lobster tails for me.
Wow, that's generous. All right.
Yes.
We're going to move on now to what we don't like. And I don't like scrolls. They are unwieldy. They wear out my arms. Storing them is a nightmare. I prefer books. They are much easier to take care of. You don't have to try very hard not to squish them. And since I'm old, I really like physical books. but I have to admit that ebooks are lighter. And to all you authors out there who might want to be featured on the show, don't even contact me if your work is a scroll, because we do books and movies here, no scrolls. Now, Demon Scroll is a book, so it can be reviewed here, but it's mainly about scrolls. So I have a strong suspicion that the review is not going to go well. So, in fact, I would have to say that Demon Scroll gets 0 out of billions of reasonable, normal, non-scroll books from me. What what about you, Grant? What don't you like?
See, what I don't like is Halloween. I do not like Halloween. It's dark, it's scary, and there's always kids trying to take my candy. Now, and for that, yeah. Now, what this book is, it's big, scary, and if it was probably a person, would definitely take my candy. So for that, negative, negative points.
I get it. All right. Let us let us now talk about things that we like about the book that we can share without spoiling the plot. Would you like to go first, Grant?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of great things about Demon Scrolls. Like for
Oh,
instance, I love the descriptions and the dialogue. Dialogue was very sarcastic and just bold. I love it. Uh, it was very serious at times, and there was just little breakaways that I could just eat up. It was amazing.
nice. All right. Now, I also liked a lot of things about this book. First, it was a book. If it would have been a scroll, I'd have been furious. Second, I like the magic system in the book. Um, I mean, I don't want to get into it real deep because I feel like that, would provide spoilers. But it is quite imaginative, and I think it's well thought out. Now, third, um, I think the book is unique in a great way. I do read a ton of fantasy novels because it's probably my favorite genre to read, and I read a lot of indie fantasy novels on particularly on Kindle Unlimited, and sometimes in my memory they just merge together because there are so many similarities between them. The setting, the characters. I mean, they're just comfortable old friends, and I don't mind that, but I definitely love it when a book stands out, and this one did in a good way. But sadly, now we have to do the actual awarding of less than a full star to the book. I'll go first. I give Demon Scroll, Demon Hunter Book One by Tim Niederritter, the Christmas hating, scroll loving fantasy adventure, 1/4 of a star. And that's
One
actually, yeah, that's more than I thought I would give it when I started doing the review. So, congratulations to Tim. Merry Christmas. But, Grant, now it's your turn. What portion of a star do you give it?
Do you want? I think a quarter is very accurate.
Excellent. All right. Well, then let's go look at the comments. It's going to take me forever to get there, apparently. All right, I got to roll all the way up here. All right, I don't understand this one, but I'm going to put it up here. Nikki Nelson Hicks put up a square. So
Square.
I don't know what to say to that, but the author himself is here, and he's wearing pajamas. I believe he said. Um, I'm not sure how to take that, what he means by that, but um,
Maybe he's like wearing his like Christmas pajamas.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe that would be smart. That might have got him more points. Um, oh, that's nice. Anita liked the cover. Me too. And it's a new one actually. There was a different cover. New cover came out. So in the promo, it's got a different cover from what I showed everybody.
Yeah, I was about to say its
Eventually.
cover for like the hard book looked way better than the e book in my personal
Oh,
opinion.
I wonder if that's the same cover now, you know. But yeah, everybody loves a cover. Um, and this is a great question. Why does Tim hate Christmas? Yeah. And then he doesn't even deny it. He just says, ouch. So,
Just
oh, look, more
ouch.
people here. A full lobster tail. It's true. I was shocked too. Um, and then here's Anita. She's Canadian, so she's very sensitive. And she's accusing me of scroll bias. And Rob Billy was writing his latest book on scroll. No, don't do that. Um, I see. I don't believe that's true. Which all my kids are old. Rob has like I don't know, a half a dozen kids, 50 kids. He's got a lot of kids, um, and well, it is true. I am a little bit of a luddite. Um, Demon Scroll would bully you and take your candy if it were a person. Now, yeah, and which only
See,
made it attractive to Nikki Nelson Hicks.
that's why I got negative points.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I'm not sure what evidence uh, Rob is basing that on. But all right, thank you for those comments. Please keep them coming. We will be back in and check comments again when we finish reviewing the second book. But before we do that, it's time to get to know Grant a tiny bit better. So, Grant, I'm going to make you big.
Woo.
Yeah, there you go. So please tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Grant Ayers. Amazing. I have been an author since I was 17 years old. Here's my first book, The Inevitable War, Godslayer Book 1. I am an indie author, which means paid for it. But otherwise, I write books all the time. I have a few free books on Inkitt. Go check them out. Most of them are fantasy. I'm a fantasy writer, and it's pretty much it. I'm boring.
Oh, that's too bad. All right, let me get back here, and I'm going to make me big. This is going to be great. Oh, you're welcome, everybody. I'm Ron Lahr. I cook, I bake, I garden, I write. I write epic fantasy, like the 3 books of the Cathaldi Chronicles. I also write humorous science fiction, like You Get What You Steal, which I think is an awesome title. Um, I also write completely serious self-help books like You're as Stupid as You Are Fat, How to Talk to Women. All of my books are available on Amazon. I also host this show that you are watching right now. And I have another show, Indie Mayhem, which is a game show with indie authors mostly as the contestants, which will be back for season 2 next month, as will this show. Um, a little surprise announcement. I'm also going to have a special on the GoIndieNow network sometime next year. Um, and I can't go into a lot of detail about it yet, but I can tell you that my Indie Mayhem co-host, Robin Burchett, will be partnering with me to do the special. So I'm very excited about it. It's very new. I can hardly wait. Unfortunately, all of you are watching this show, so we'll just have to make the best of things and soldier on. But you know, ah well. But it does mean that it is now time for book 2, which is Marshal the Stars, Lone Wolf Squadron, Book 1 by Jamie Davis and Michael Anderle. My spoiler-free synopsis is, and this time I'm just going to read the blurb and not even pretend that I'm not. Uh, a lone wolf pilot, a debt of honor, and pirates on the Federation frontier. Fighter pilot Beau Ward was always willing to bend the rules to get the job done. His independent attitude got him bounced around the Federation fleet for years until he took it too far. A long-standing debt has been called in, and he's the one who must pay it back. Beau's actions land him a last chance command in the frontier system of Tardex, with the order to assist an old friend and shipmate whose family has been torn apart by pirates. Tasked with commanding a collection of misfit pilots, Beau must gather the squadron, scrounge for ships, and rescue the captured colonists before it's too late. a Pricolici engineer, a former scrounger from the Skane mob, a grizzled Marine sergeant, and a green recruit. What could go wrong? Can Bo hold Lone Wolf Squadron together long enough to stage a rescue? There we go. Let's jump right into our likes. I like knowing who wrote what I'm reading. Most times, you can tell by looking at the cover of a book, which I'm gonna bring the cover up again. But normally they put the name of the author right on the front. And in this case, you can see the book has two authors, Jamie and Michael. So who wrote what? I have no idea. There are no helpful clues like the author's initials in front of each sentence, or half of the book sucks and the other half is good, so you just have to find out who the crappy writer is. Nope. Unfortunately, this book is seamless, and I would swear only one person, or AI, was responsible for all of it, which was quite distracting. After the show, I am going to ask Jamie to highlight all the parts he wrote in yellow and all the parts Michael wrote in blue, and then I'm going to request that he leave it like that for the next edition of the book. But either way, uh, because of my wasted time trying to figure out who wrote what, Marshall the Stars gets 0s out of 2 authors. So how about you? Oh, Grant, I should bring you back to the show.
Hey.
Grant's back, everybody. It's not
Yeah.
just me anymore. So, Grant, what do you like?
See, what I like is I love swords. They're sharp, they're pointy, they're big, and they make great battle scenes. Now, as for Lone Wolf Squadron, they didn't have any
It's true.
that I saw or read about, which is sad because that kind of removes an important element for fantasy for me.
Well, and
So,
there's pirates. There's pirates and no swords. What is happening?
right? So, negative points again.
So, I have a question for you. What about machetes? Are machetes enough like swords to count for you? Not that there were any in the book. The only reason I ask is I have 5 machetes of my own, and they're around the property at different places, so that no matter where I am, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I will have a machete nearby. You know?
That does strike up an interesting point. I think if you were to use them as a sword, then they definitely count as one. But
Yeah.
altogether, even in that situation, that it's more of a survival tool than anything.
Not the way I use it. I fenced in college. I was on the fencing team for a while, and you can't fence with a machete very well. but I mean, I know some real sword play, so I definitely use it as a short sword and not just a hacking tool. But anyway, if anybody's thinking about gifts, I could always use more machetes. So anyway,
And I
all
could
right.
always use more of my books.
Oh, well, that makes sense. All right, let's move on to our next part, which is things we don't like. Now, I don't like paying taxes, and I am old, so I have paid a bunch of them over the years. I do want some of the things that taxes pay for, like roads, but now that my children are grown, I don't want to pay for public schools. So some of the things that taxes pay for, I do not want. The reason I don't want to pay for public school is that I hate children, especially other people's children, and I think it is unwise to educate all of them anyway. Bring back child labor, I say, and save us all some money in more ways than one. What could be a better Christmas gift for a child than not having to go to school anymore? I can't think of one. I want everybody to think about it. The more you know, and all that. How does that relate to Marshall the Stars? It doesn't. Not everything is about Marshall the Stars, even during a review of Marshall the Stars. I was just thinking about taxes and hating children. So here we are. And what are you going to do, people watching? It's the last show of the season. It's the last show of the season. Fine. I'll tie it to the book by saying there aren't enough people in the book who hate taxes and children. There is a little bit of forced child labor, though, and I did like that, but it was not enough to save the review. So Marshall the Stars gets 0 out of 8 tax protesters from me. Thank you, Grant. What about you, Grant? What don't you like?
I don't know how I'm going to beat child labor,
Yeah.
but oh, I don't like chocolate.
Oh,
Too sweet, always melts in your mouth, and yeah, at that point, it's just sugar making you fat. So
yeah, you're not convincing me. I do love chocolate, but please go ahead. And I'm fat, so no big deal.
And for Battle Flight, I don't think chocolate was mentioned ever once. So yeah, I think that's one of the benefits.
All right.
And so
go ahead.
Oh, I apologize.
Well, no, let's just move on to the things we can talk about that we liked without spoiling the plot. I loved the artificial intelligence of the Lone Wolf Squadron's base. Can't say much about it because it would spoil the surprise, and I don't want to do that. But I enjoyed it very much, and especially because of my age, I think it was made for people, around my age, maybe older even. The other thing is, I also liked what Bo does at the beginning of the book to get into trouble and get assigned his position as commander of the Lone Wolf Squadron. It kind of ties into my dislike of young people, and it was awesome. So people should read the book just to find out what those two things are, I think. But how about you, Grant? What did you like about the book that you could talk about without spoiling the plot?
Ooh, that's hard. See, descriptions.
That's why we get the big bucks, Grant.
Descriptions. It did amazing.
That's true.
Like, I love the stars. I like the battleships. I love the fight scene. Yeah, it was all, I could see it like a movie. It was amazing.
I agree. Very well written. Created a very believable and complete universe to play in.
It reminded me a bit of like Halo. Have you ever read those book series? Or
I have not.
You haven't? Well,
no.
You should.
I tried playing it, and I was really bad. My kids killed me all the time. Yeah, I didn't. And I played it on my Xbox, whatever version of Xbox I had at the time, and it was awful. So that didn't inspire me to want to read the books. I was like, am I going to suck at reading the books? Like suck at playing the games? Forget it. I didn't want that kind of trouble. But all right, let's. Oh, I did want to say I loved the races he created. I may not know how to pronounce them, but I did love the alien races he created. As another thing I liked that I can talk about without spoiling the plot.
Tongue twisters. Those names were sometimes.
Yeah, there were some. All right, it is ratings time. I give Marshall the Stars, Lone Wolf Squadron Book 1 by Jamie Davis and Michael Anderle. Actually, this is a tough one because I was going to give it 3/4 of a star. But sadly, we're only featuring Jamie Davis on the show. And since there are 2 authors that wrote this book together, I'm going to have to cut that in half and only award 3/8 of a star. I mean, that's just math. I mean, my condolences to the families of both authors, but I got to be fair, All right. How about you, though?
I was going to give them a full star, admittedly.
Oh my!
But you brought up a good point, so I have to give them half that now.
I agree. I make great points all the time. Don't listen to my wife. I make great points all the time.
Hey, wisdom comes with age.
Well, that's true, but also a little mean. I mean, a little mean.
I'm
All
only
right, let's look
20.
at the comments one more time. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, nice. We got hit by some bots with. I'll share those in a minute. All right, I'm trying to find where we were. Our last comment was this, and even Tim said only moderately good. I guess my birthday present from Ron is for him to skip my comments. I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel bad. You know how bad I am at getting to the comments. However, we have a bunch of these comments for anybody who is looking for adult dating chat free. All right. Oh, and yeah, that's a great point. Happy birthday to Joe Compton, the
Oh,
founder of GoIndieNow. That's a great point. Um,
oh.
ooh, that's a great point. Um,
Imagine sharing a birthday with Jesus Christ.
well, the worst part is, you know, you get Christmas gifts and birthday gifts this close to it. You don't get as much as if you got, your birthday was separated more. That's right.
Yeah.
I'll get up to show. Yeah, hey, my fucking
Plus,
show. I can do
like,
whatever I want.
you're kind of like the underdog every birthday. You're good.
Just kidding. I just stare at myself in the mirror all the time. Rob knows me. Oh, and look at this. Somebody backing up Grant here. Anita agreeing. Oh no. Now we've really everybody's on the bandwagon.
See?
Everything is better with laser. I wish I had a. This is a very serious and great point. If there is a zombie apocalypse, everyone should come to my home because all the food, we got food,
A farm,
we got
machetes.
machetes. Yeah. I mean, there's, yeah. I mean, you guys will have to stay in the workers' quarters, but still. I can fence and well, I mean now I don't, now that I'm old, it would probably be really bad. But I used to fence and foil. Oh, sorry, I need to ask a question. We all practice with everything, but I like foil because you could take the foil and point it down at the ground and flex it down and let go, and it would shoot up, and you could grab it, and it was really cool. It didn't help me with the chicks, but I really felt like it should have. I mean, like that is so cool,
Oh yeah.
but it didn't work. Um, yeah, yeah. Weirdo with a farm full of machetes crying out for child labor, which would be a huge help at my property. I mean, we could grow a lot more if we had child labor here. I wasn't going to say anything till after the show was over and just say it behind his back. But yeah, obviously, eats chocolate.
Well,
Ridiculous.
it makes you fat.
Some things are worth being fat. Oh no. Now Anita's out to get you. And for a
Oh no.
Canadian to be mad at you, that's really said something. So
Hey,
nice.
Halloween
All right.
and chocolate both collide. I have my points. I have my reasonings.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh, I forgot to take. I always do that. I forget to take the last comment off. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. Before I do the weekly automated wrap up, uh, I just want to thank everybody who participated in season 1 of Mean Reviews, No Stars Given. The guest co-hosts like Grant here, the people who let us review their work, everyone who watched and commented. It has been so much fun that we will definitely be back with season 2 near the end of January. Have a great Christmas or whatever other holiday, and we will see you next see you next year. Thank you for watching Mean Reviews, No Stars Given. Please like this show and subscribe to the Go Indie Now channel. I'd also like to thank
Grant Ayers
for being today's guest co-host. You were magnificent. Everyone should buy your stuff. I was truly lucky to have you with me here on the show. We should totally hang out sometime. because we are very much actual, in real life, friends. I also need to thank the 2 writers or filmmakers who agreed to let us review their book or movie. You are very trusting, and I appreciate that. Even though their stuff is not to my liking, as evidenced by the fact that they received not even 1 star from me. I recommend that you purchase their work, even if it's just out of pity. So thank you.
For Demon Hunter Book 1, Demon Scroll by Tim Niederritter.
And also,
For Lone Wolf Squadron Book 1, Marshall, the Stars by Jamie Davis.
you 2 are the best. If you would like to have your book or film reviewed on this show, please email me at ronlodellar@gmail.com. That's almost it. In fact, there's only one thing left to say, but it's an important thing. So remember,
It's always time to go indie now.